Welcome to our road to equality with our queer nation. I'm Amanda. One of the steps as a trans woman is, for me, this summer, is to legally change my name and gender on my birth certificate and ID card. And I'd like to share my experience with you. What I did first was contact the Transgender Law Center, and upon contacting them, Danny helped me out by filling out my forms for me. Now, before doing this, what he did was send me an questionnaire via email asking for my information, such as my birth name, my gender, the name that I wanted my name to be, and my birthplace, and my social security card, and all that information. This costs me nothing for the appropriate assistance that I received, and it's very exciting that I was able to do this, as I didn't quite know if I needed to wait for sexual reassignment surgery to change my gender along with my name, or what have you. It was just very important for me to have this information. I didn't want any trouble going along with me as far as the stories that I've read about employment discrimination with other trans individuals, and I just sort of wanted to avoid that, and so do other individuals, and that's why we're going to go through these steps today in this video, which is going to turn into a little bit of a how-to, but it's an informational one all the same. So thanks, guys. We're going to go through this right now. So with the questionnaire being filled out to Danny already, what he did was mail me the information. In about 2 to 3 business days, I received a large manila envelope which contained this little patch of paperwork here. It's about 14 pages that are tabbed appropriately with where to sign and date. And this is all set up again for me with a representative from the Transgender Law Center. Very helpful indeed, very exciting, and I'm glad that we have this whole thing going forward. The first page includes a court-ordered name change and gender change checklist. And it gives you about 10 steps of what to do, the proper steps to take when changing your name and gender. The reason why I keep stressing the gender point is that it's very important because you don't want to have any trouble going forward as far as misrepresenting yourself on your application and your ID and whatnot. Very important to change your gender on your name change forms. Now, they also have their first step includes the forms that you receive. Second step, where you choose the newspaper to publish your name change in, and you may want to call several to determine which ones are most affordable. Now, there is a fee when changing your name with newspapers, and those fees typically range from $35 to $400, depending on that publication that you go through. It's a fee that you can't waive, unfortunately, as it's independent, and newspapers need to get their money as well. Hey, it's whatever. As long as they're getting it done, it's good to go. Third step, you sign in, you complete your forms, and you can. It also lets you know that you can apply for a fee waiver, and that fee waiver is something that you pick up at the courts. Now, that fee waiver, I know here in California, it costs $395. Now, what I encourage you to waive that fee because, again, you can use those funds towards the fee that you're going to have to pay for changing your name in a newspaper publication of your choice. And of course, it's not going to be $395, but still, you're going to need that money to change your name within the newspapers. And again, it goes through the next 4 to 10 steps on what to do, and we're going to go through those right now. This next sheet, which is about 6 pages, is the name and address of publication that you're going to choose, and you're going to go through calling around which one best suits your needs on a monetary level. Like, for instance, since I'm in San Diego, they gave me a list of various newspaper publications. We've got the Alpine Sun, the Coast News, Coronado Eagle and Journal, Del Mar Times. We've also got Imperial Beach Eagle and Times, La Jolla Light, North County Spectrum, the Poway News Chieftain, Rancho Santa Fe Review, San Diego County Herald, the San Diego Union Tribune, and we've got the Voice and Viewpoint. You get the gist on the variety of newspaper publications you get to go through and choose. Your next sheet is your civil case cover sheet, which has your birth name and your address and all that information. But they've also had the boxes checked for you already that you would need to check, such as this box, the miscellaneous civil petition, which is checked as another petition because it's just a little bit just miscellaneous, and it's also checked as there's no monetary value involved. It's just changing your name, and all this can be done at no cost if you apply for that fee waiver. And again, I'm encouraging apply for the fee waiver. We've also got the decree changing your name and gender, which has my birth name. It's also got my name that I'm going to transition to, which I'm already using, and then it has the sex that I'm changing as well. It's very important to change that sex along with your name. Then our next sheet is the Declaration of Physician, and you're going to go ahead and use that model declaration that they give you included in this packet, where you'll have your physician fill that out. Now you're probably wondering, gosh, it's going to cost me a lot to get a physician and whatnot. That's actually not true. What you can do is go on the internet or call around and find out about your local family health services center, or look in a phone book and contact a physician through there at any low cost or no cost type of things. Again, you don't have to pay anything as far as a physician goes, or obtaining this packet from the Transgender Law Center. It probably cost me nothing, as they even paid for the postage. So again, no cost. Do not be discouraged. I know for me, I was a little bit discouraged and almost held off a lot of things, not only because I thought that I would need sexual reassignment surgery, but I was also thinking about funds as well. I've got to do all these different things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tackle my dreams, so to speak. Well, don't you fear, you can do all of this with no cost. Just follow along this video and to seek out the proper information out there, okay? Our next sheet that we have here is the petition for change of name and gender. Again, we've got my birth name here. We've also got the name that I'm transitioning to and my gender. This next sheet is the attachment to petition for change of name. We've got the full information here. They've checked out a certain box that says self, my birth name, the name I'm transitioning to, my birth date, my birthplace, and my current residence address, all that, and tabs with the dates and signature places in place. This next sheet is the order to show cause for your change of name. And on it, I list the newspaper in which I'm going to have my name published 4 times. Again, that's going to be 4 times. It's a California mandate with the publications to have your name published 4 times. But the fee that you pay, you only pay that once with the 4-time publication. So make sure, again, when you're calling around for those fees, it's a cheap one, because you just want to, save that money and spend it on something else. And this other sheet that they provide for you is the changing your name and gender with the Department of Motor Vehicles. Now, to change your name with the California DMV, you must submit a certified copy of your court along with a completed form DL-44. That form is only available at your local DMV. It doesn't get provided to you by the Transgender Law Center. However, the Transgender Law Center does provide a gender change form, which is your DL-329, and that has to be, it's your medical certification and authorization form, which needs to be signed by your local physician or whatever doctor that you're working with at a family health services center or clinic of that nature, and they'll fill that out for you saying, okay, yes, your gender does match up with your name because you're already taking the hormones and whatnot. So it's all, as you can see, it's all a very easy process. You don't have to go through the sexual reassignment surgery. You don't have to wait. You don't have to pay for anything such as the name and gender change, because you're going to apply for that fee waiver, which they give you the detailed steps in the packet, letting you know how to fill out the appropriate forms. Even if you think you may make the money, it may turn out that you don't. So still apply and just find out. It's always good to try. Also, we're going to go ahead in our next segment and talk about a very remarkable young trans individual who, at the age of 11, is pursuing, her dream of and her idea of who she is. She's very articulate and very stunning in the fact that she knows who she is, and she has a great, encouraging family letting her express that. So we're going to touch on that, and it's going to encourage trans individuals like myself to keep pushing forward and go along our path and our dreams and setting our names forward and everything else. This is a very monumentous day, and I'm glad I could share this with you guys, as it's very pertinent and gives me a chance to let you know how to go through the steps, because I certainly didn't know, and I had to look at the internet and everything. And hopefully you out there in Cyberland, you're going to look through the internet and come across our video here at Road to Equality with our QueerNation and say, hey, that's how I fill out that paperwork. Thanks, Amanda. So with that said, gang, you know what to do. Be well, be merry, and love.